On today's episode of The Chicken Man, we're going to talk about how many chickens do you need? I am in a family of four, myself, my wife, and we've got two growing kiddos. I have 24 chickens out back, and it's way too many. Way too many chickens. I think, honestly, maybe between 4 and 6 chickens would have been good, especially in the high yield months where each chicken's pretty much laying an egg a day. So if you're thinking about getting into the game, consider obviously what you're going to do with the eggs. Now, because we have 18 at least on a given day, we have a lot of extra. There's a local nonprofit that I take, a little coffee shop that I take eggs to and donate to them because they make bakery items and everything. So that uses up a bulk. There's a lot of volunteers and folks there who also will just take the eggs. So that helps out a lot. When I find myself getting to a point where I have just way too many, I can't even give them away fast enough, then I will scramble some, mix in the eggshells, and give them back to the chickens as a little treat, which you may have seen in some of my other videos that I do. If you're thinking about getting chickens, you most likely obviously already know that when a chicken lays an egg, it has what's called a bloom on it. And if you don't rinse that off, those eggs will be fine at room temperature for an extended period of time. But once you rinse them, they need to be refrigerated, and then you've got about 2 months from that date in the refrigerator. So some people will make obviously batch foods and then freeze them. Some people will freeze the eggs themselves. I've not yet done that. But if you're thinking about getting into the game, just be cognizant of that. Chicken math is a thing. When we first got chickens, we got 12 Comets. And shortly thereafter, I decided that, instead of just the old boring brown eggs, I wanted to get some Americanas and other breeds that would lay the olive green and the blues. And now I find myself in a situation where with just the 12, I would have had way too many eggs. And now it's just much worse. If money isn't really a problem for you and you're able to, feed the chickens with no issues, then no worries. But I mean, obviously there's an expense factor here too, where you're feeding all these chickens and then you're giving away the eggs for free. You might post something on Facebook or various other social outlets saying that, you have chickens for sale. And if your experience is like mine, you may have 1 or 2 people that'll come and get eggs from you. But if you get in a situation like me, you're not going to be able to give them away fast enough. So just some food for thought. If you're thinking about getting into the game, then certainly be mindful of exactly how many eggs are you consuming. Maybe before you get chickens, track your egg usage. Do you know that you can get a dozen eggs every 2 weeks and it'll last you? If that's the case, just a few chickens is probably going to do just fine for you. Unless you want to be, the chicken person in the neighborhood that's giving away all these free eggs, that's certainly fine as well. And obviously your neighbors would appreciate that. But hopefully this information is helpful to somebody that's watching that is thinking about getting chickens. Thanks for watching, folks. Like and subscribe.